The saga of Pirate Software's continued decline and fall from grace has now reached new lows. But to put it simply, Pirate Software has completely lost his mind at this point. I've seen content creators double or triple down on obviously bad takes before. But this thing that Pirate has going on here has reached levels I don't even think was possible at first. The guy just refuses to admit when he's wrong, and now his own audience is turning on him as he continues to lose control of the entire situation. Shout out to Quinn Theo, by the way, for unearthing these Discord messages that I'm about to go over that someone took from Pirate Software's own Discord. So, Pirate is not only losing his audience, but he's rewarding bad behavior. Let's just get into all of it now. You all know the Stop Killing Games lore by now, I assume. Pirate is against it, and that's why he's having what's happening against him now. He's lost well over 100,000 subscribers already due to this and then some, and now he's starting to purge his own Discord of loyal users who have backed him for more than a decade for disagreeing or even attempting to have him see reason. Let's start with this screen cap from his Discord where Pirate says, "Going to be real for the people in the back who don't get it. You know when this road of attacks and well poisoning ends? It ends with shutting down companies and firing everyone if they manage to poison enough people. It ends with no longer being able to support the ferret rescue unless I can snag a job that supports it. People think this is some ego trip. No. I have people to take care of. I am not going to sit by and let that happen, and you're dumb for suggesting it." Like I said, he's now attacking his own viewer base from his own beliefs. You'll see as I show more that this poisoning of the well that Pirate brings up is actually of his own making. It's not the user's faults. And the company that he speaks about, Pirate employs quite a few people, including a whole moderation team that helps him with his streams. So credit where it's due, because Pirate does take care of his mods. He even offers them healthcare if you can believe it. Also, if you enjoy the content, consider liking the video or leaving a comment to help combat YouTube's new annoying algorithm. It would help the channel out a lot, thank you. So while he may take care of this group of people who work for him that understandably rely on Pirate doing well on YouTube and through his streams and such, he is quickly realizing that the damage that he's taken from this opinion on Stop Killing Games is starting to crumble the empire from within. But calling his supporters as being responsible for poisoning his community with negativity, that is rich coming from this guy. Another screen cap seen here shows Pirate confirming a new update for Heartbound. That's the game that he's been working on for years, in case you don't know. The update isn't the problem here, but actually the emoji reactions on the post, because as we can see in this next screen cap where Pirate says, also timed out and banned people for putting middle finger emojis on the announcement idiot behavior. And as you can see, another user with their name blacked out said that Pirate shouldn't be giving these people the satisfaction by banning them, and yeah, they're right. Like I said, Pirate is starting to lose his mind here. He's actually banning people for putting the wrong emoji reactions to his public posts on Discord now. So if you have a negative reaction to him putting out an update, you're timed out or banned. All this will do is cause people to react the way that they are. Pirate is now, if he hasn't already, just turned his whole Discord into an echo chamber, where anyone who doesn't praise him is now being reprimanded or tossed out of the castle pretty much. That's not healthy behavior, and it's showing that this is the kind of man who is used to getting what he wants and how he wants it to be said for a really long time. And now that his subjects are questioning the king, he's bringing out the guillotines, and it's going over about how you expected would. Pirate would then react to that user saying that he shouldn't give the satisfaction to those users putting the wrong emojis on his post. And how did Pirate respond to this? Was he nice about it? Of course not. He said in response, "When I have hundreds of thousands of people being misled and it's poisoning the well online about who I am obligated to counter." Okay, fair enough to a degree. However, what you're doing is not stopping the poisoning of the well by simply banning people. What you're actually doing is rewarding right think and getting rid of what you think is wrong think, which is textbook I'm the king and you're the peasants mentality. It benefits no one but your ego to remove people for simply disagreeing with you. This is not normal, nor is it okay. You should never do this. Hell, my own Discord, I just let the mods run it. I'm pretty much just hands off. I'm okay with people saying whatever they want as long as it's not, racist or something for obvious reasons. But anyway, one user would respond to Pirate's claims about banning people who have the wrong think with this. Countering is timing out and banning. Talking about it is just going to rile up trolls more. And I agree, the best course of action would be to allow those people to just simply exist. Let them voice their disgust, but by banning them, you're bringing a lighthouse of attention to their fates that will only cause more people in the Discord to lose faith in you. They'll definitely be thinking, wow, I really am in an echo chamber, aren't I? Because if I don't agree with this guy 100% of the time on everything, I too could just be removed despite supporting this guy for years. See what I mean? This is the spiral, the end of the rope, where things begin to unravel, and Pirate is doing this to himself here by not listening but quadrupling down on his opinions instead. Of course, Pirate would respond, and he said, timing out and banning does not counter misinformation about my work, evidence does provided now. What evidence is he speaking about, though, exactly? By banning people, all you're doing is both lessening your reach and proving that your opinions can't hold up to the questioning, which is textbook censorship in most circles. It's like when how Twitter, worked before Elon bought it. If you said anything that went against the right way of thinking, you would be banned or censored, especially during the pandemic. Pirate is doing the same thing here, but on a smaller scale, but it still tracks. This is not okay to do so. This feels like someone who is corrupted by power, if you ask me. Another user would respond to Pirate about banning people over wrongthink, and they would say, I think you are at risk of throwing further gasoline on the fire. If it's too hard to ignore, maybe try laying low for a while. Uh-oh, this person tried to use logic when it came to Pirate's dilemma. Laying low for Pirate, admitting he's wrong? That's like asking a fish to breathe oxygen without being in water first. It just can't happen. And you can bet that Pirate saw that comment, and guess how he responded to it? Yup, here's what Pirate said to that user. Ah yes, the streamer laying low, and he would respond to another user telling Pirate that how he's handling things must have a better alternative to him simply saying, insane request. This is what I mean. This guy is incapable of admitting he's wrong no matter the situation. He needs to be right 100% of the time, and that's what's biting him back so badly here. You have to have the hubris and willingness to admit that you can't be right all the time, and you have to be willing to understand that, you will make mistakes, dude. I would know, because I've made plenty of mistakes, even in my videos. If I make mistakes and people call me out, I address it, either in the comment section or in the next video that I heard you. For example, I covered Subnautica 2's news recently. I, by accident, said that Crafton, the company that owns them, was Chinese. They're actually South Korean. Whoops, I got called out in the comments, and rightfully so, and the viewers were right. I screwed up. All I can blame is that I was really tired when I made the video, and yeah, I made a mistake, but imagine how badly it would have gone for me if I was instead like, actually, they are Chinese when they're not, obviously. Like, why even attempt a battle when your stance is clearly in the wrong, you know? No, you're not going to be right all the time. I make content too, just like Pirate, okay? Just because we have these platforms doesn't mean that we're holier than thou or better than other people suddenly. We can just be as infallible and capable of mistakes as anyone that's watching the content that we make. I really hate it when content creators think that they're somehow better than everyone that's watching their videos. Like, be for real, man. You're not better than anyone, and you need to realize, as Pirate is clearly finding out right now, that your opinions and beliefs can be challenged. And they can't take away the very opportunities that you believe that you are entitled to simply because you think you do. Now he's losing money, and the people he employs could lose their benefits or even their jobs. I mean, that's a big thing. It's a big deal, but it's not the fault of the people that are criticizing you as a content creator. It's you as the person who made those claims that needs to come to terms with the fact that even someone like yourself, who allegedly beat Animal Well's secret ending without looking up a guide, which took literally, by the way, in case you don't know, that secret ending was found out by like 1 million plus users that were working for weeks all together to figure out that ending. And guess what? You can be wrong too, Pirate. And by the way, I still believe that Pirate just looked up the solution to Animal Well's secret ending before he played the game. It's just his hubris, it's so annoying. Thinking that you are some God-sent champion. We're just another guy wearing glasses in a chair with a microphone. We're not special, man. That's why it's called YouTube. Anyone can do what we're doing, and you need to realize that your platform and support, that can be pulled at any time, especially if you're attacking the very people who look up to you. Just never take this for granted. Always be grateful. I still can't believe that I even do YouTube for a living. It's a dream of mine. But what Pirate is doing here, this is a man who isn't grateful for this opportunity. He instead feels like he was born to control it and be with it, and everyone around him has to submit to him, and that's where he's wrong. Because Pirate would respond to this, of course. Here's what he said about people saying things about him that he doesn't agree with. You don't have to reason with the BS takes, but you do have to defend yourself from stuff like this. Otherwise, the people in the middle that don't know anything will just instantly side with the only voice in the room. Ironic, isn't it? Otherwise, people in the middle will side with the only voice in the room. So you mean how you run your Discord then, right? And pretty much everything else you do? How you're usually the only voice that really matters to yourself, like we've been seeing this entire video right now? How you're silencing people and shaming them for trying to be another voice in the room or having the gall to speak out against you? That kind of silencing? Pirate dude, you're becoming your own worst enemy here, and you can't even see it yourself. He told on himself there. He wants to be the only voice in the room there, which is explicitly why he's banning anyone else who even attempts to be any sort of alternative voice to his in his own Discord. So Pirate doesn't want anything said about him in a negative light, and yeah, he just proved it. So for a guy who claims he's a master hacker extraordinaire amongst other things, this guy really does tend to get basic things wrong, doesn't he? Another user would say that these people against Pirate don't care that if he's right, which he isn't, by the way, clearly, but anyway, here's how Pirate would respond to that too. You know who does care? The tens of thousands on the sidelines. Yeah, and they're seeing that you have built an echo chamber where only you can be right and nobody else is allowed to. You're destroying your own brand with every type of your keyboard or phone and then hitting that enter button. You're not allowing people to think for themselves, and you're enacting your rule over them like you're some kind of god king where you're just a guy in a chair with long hair. Like, the level of self-importance here needs to be dialed down because it's clearly rotting your brain out. Then a user brings up a really good point against Pirate, which reads, those people are coming here or to the stream and seeing you show numbers of bans that you have without context, it looks like boasting. Trolls are giving that context already, and gamifying it with ban announcements and counters is just encouragement. You're gonna fight this fight for the rest of your career this way. Yeah, so, okay, some context for you, in case you don't know. Pirate Software, when he streams, he has a ban counter on screen while he's live, and this ban counter obviously goes up the more he bans people while watching his streams. So what this user said to criticize him is actually a really good point, which is that by having a ban counter on your live stream every time you do it, you're actually incentivizing that very same negative behavior within your viewer base to act out of line on purpose in order to increase that ban number, which people will look forward to, but in actuality, for it to happen, obviously a whole account is removed every single time. So yes, this user is right that Pirate is 100% encouraging his own viewer base to act out of line so that he can ban them for entertainment reasons. So he is quite literally rewarding the bad behavior that he's against, which he has said prior in this video is something he hates. Because it is, in his opinion, poisoning the well when he's the one encouraging the very poisoning of the well that he's apparently against. Therefore, he's not only rewarding bad behavior, but he has, even though he claims he hasn't, but he is creating an echo chamber of thousands of people who will just thrive off this sort of negativity. And yes, it's a terrible precedent. And now to turn it around and say wrongthink is banned in Discord? Come on. It just shows that this guy can't follow his own claims even when he tries. Yes, it's hypocritical. It's like having a coliseum where you throw humans in every night to watch lions eat them for entertainment. But as soon as someone says, why don't you get in the coliseum yourself, or you're bad for doing this in the first place, they just get removed from the premises. And it's crazy that he hasn't realized this at all, you know? But anyway, Pirate would respond to this user's plights that he's weaponizing the toxicity of his own user base to fuel his pockets while complaining. And how did Pirate respond? Well, he said, I have fought this for 6 months without the timer. Your route does nothing. As you can see, despite the criticism and the actual level-headed arguments and advice to better himself and his community, Pirate Software has instead refused to see reason no matter what anyone says to him. So if you ask me, it's impossible to reason with people like this. They will never see your side because even though they know you're right, they are so hell-bent on proving that they're right that they would rather gaslight everyone around them into believing the same lies that they do if it means people will then see them as the truth. It's completely backwards. It's completely backwards. It's why there's so much discourse online 24/7. The fact that all of this has happened, the crumbling of his so-called empire, and the loss of revenue and subscribers is because of Pirate, not the people criticizing him despite what he says. He can try and say that it's because of others that he's losing his platform, but not really. This all falls on him and him alone. And the fact that he's now resorting to censoring his own viewer base for speaking out, yeah, it proves this. This is a man who refuses to admit that he's wrong despite the evidence overwhelmingly proving that he is in fact wrong. These sort of people are the most insufferable to deal with, yet the only way you can truly make someone like this see reason is to just walk away from them. Just leave them be, move on, and when enough do and they realize that their empire is full of vacant homes, they will suddenly wish that they did listen when the audience was still willing to have that conversation with them. Because otherwise, what we're left with is just two brick walls communicating pretty much. And Pirate does need to remember that he needs the viewers and their support way more than they need him. Because they owe you nothing, dude. Everything that you are is because of them. It's not the other way around. Your ability to pay your moderators and to have streams is because people like watching you, and the sooner you realize this, the better it will be for you. But it's very clear that you refuse to admit to any of this, and it's why this is happening to you in the first place. So I don't want to hear crying or anything when more people leave and stop supporting you. There's a window of opportunity here for you to save face, and right now, you're doing everything to make this worse for yourself of your own volition and opinions. And you know it's having an effect because one user would ask if this slander has had an effect on Pirate financially as seen here, and Pirate would simply respond to this question with, yes. But it does go further because one user got quite a bit of attention for wondering why Pirate's game is taking so long to develop. I won't read their whole post because it's quite long, but it's on screen here, but to paraphrase it, they're confused as to how Pirate's game has taken so long despite people having bought it already and paid for it years ago. Pirate would respond again in a lengthy read, but to also paraphrase what he's saying, Pirate defends why Heartbound took so long to get made and claims that the game has plenty of content in it already, from hidden secrets and all that other stuff as you can read on screen yourselves. But the user, who has become obviously disillusioned, brings up a good point next where they would say this. By the time the game is done, my son will be in college, and I might be misunderstanding, but are you saying it's not even halfway done? But at this point, I feel like my money has been wasted between buying the game, buying Heartbound merch, subscribing to his Twitch and YouTube. It just doesn't feel like I'm supporting an indie dev with a dream as much as a Twitch streamer with a side project. Its priorities have changed drastically. We haven't had an update on Heartbound since May 28th. Because the game jam coming up, perhaps he should take a year off and focus on something else instead of telling everybody for months that Animus is done and there is video proof of him saying, again, I like
Jason. Thor.
And I truly want to believe his motives are good, but man, it's hard. Fathom that for a second, okay? This guy's son is almost in college due to how long Pirate has been working on his game. And it's still not done. How does Pirate respond to a guy who's been supporting him for years? Here's what he said. Doomer detected. Honestly, if all you're going to do is Doom post, just wait for me to be done and stop busying yourself with it. I'm literally writing it now. Ah, yes, be condescending to the guy who supports your YouTube, Twitch, buys your merch, and your video game. Very cool of you, Pirate. Very cool. The original message by the guy with the son in college would be deleted, I guess, by him after Pirate would respond to him. But here's how Pirate would then double down further again to a guy who supported him for at least a decade. Here's what he would say. Good faith criticism is not claiming that your son will be in college by the time the game comes out. It's just stating things as raw and aggressive as possible while being an ass about it, F's sake. Like, imagine supporting and watching someone for well over a decade, and they tell you that you're an idiot and that your claims are pointless and you need to sit down and shut up for simply asking why it's taken almost a decade to deliver on a product that you bought way back when. Congratulations, Pirate Software. You likely made that guy just burn his merch and walk away from supporting you forever. Not that you care, of course, because you will just feel as though you're entitled to that money that he gave you either way, and it's really disgusting to see, man. Finally, Pirate would say one more thing to that guy he's shamed for supporting him and asking where the product is. He would say this. You can just be like, hey man, when is this coming out? Not writing a novel about all the imaginary stuff that is going to happen before it does. Again, people, this is Pirate Software. I'm not making these things up, okay? They're on his Discord. It's there. He truly believes that he is entitled to your money and support, and if you question it, you're the bad guy. That's who this guy is. He almost doesn't need YouTubers talking about him because he's proving how awful of a human being he is simply of his own free will at this point. This man has lost his composure and he's lashing out at everyone by proving that he truly is the internet supervillain. Like, man, imagine supporting someone for 10 years and they tell you to shut up and sit down like that. Like, Jesus, dude. But this is Pirate Software, ladies and gentlemen. The man who also, by the way, thinks that you all deserve to own nothing despite paying the, premium price points for video games these days, which of course started all of this backlash in the first place. How anyone can support this guy with all of this out in the open now, I have no idea. But again, thanks to Quintheo for the screen grabs on all of this. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of just repeating his info in my video here, but I had a lot to say, so that's why I made a video about it too. But if you ask me, this is not okay, man. If you were on the fence about supporting Pirate Software still, maybe this video has convinced you to, maybe not do that, and this guy really needs a miracle at this point to clean his image up. But I'm sure, even if someone tries to help him, he would just ban them anyways, or call them an idiot, or be condescending, because I guess it's just who this guy is in the end. But what do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.